What is up, YouTube? It is ZetaTCG here for my discussion video of my Cyber Dragon deck profile. Um, if you saw my Cyber Dragon deck profile, you guys saw the cards that I run in my personal deck, and so far, with the deck I've been running, I've won many games and I've lost a lot of games, for sure. Um, as I said in the last video, this is not a very great option to go with for anti-meta, but it certainly is a good option. Okay, it's just good against the meta. It's not great or anything like that. Now, I'll start out my discussion simply with some questions that you guys probably questioned whenever you saw my last video, and I'm pretty sure one of the first one was why does this guy have 50 cards in his deck? I like to have balance in my deck, and I think personally having 50 cards in your deck does offer a great balance. And with Cyber Dragons, you need balance. You need to be able to summon. You need to be able to get that spell card that you may need, you know? But yet again, at the same time, you may get a dead draw. You may get a card like Dimension Explosion, and you don't even have a single banished card or a single fusion summon card on your field, okay? So, granted, I will give you that, but I like to run 50 cards because it offers balance. If you ever face me on Dueling Network, my deck will be 51 cards, and that extra card is Cybernetic Fusion Support, which is a OCG card. Now, with that being said, the next question I'm pretty sure you guys ask is, how come I'm basing my deck around fusions whenever XZs is the best way to go now with special summoning? I think with Cyber Dragons, I think fusions are your best chance to really bring out the best effects. With Cyber Dragons, when you fusion summon a monster, like for example, if you're able to bring out one of these two suckers in Cyber Twin or Chimera Tech, with Chimera Tech coming out through Overload Fusion and Cyber Twin being summoned through a card like Power Bond, that's OTK, maybe even FTK. Okay, if you can manage to bring out Cyber Twin first turn with Power Bond, game over, shut down. Okay, it is over. You win. With Chimera Tech, if you can go Overload Fusion, and if you banish 5 cards, it not only gets to attack 5 times, but its attack is 4,000. That's as much as Cyber End. So, still, that's why I base my deck around fusions, because you have options thrown at you, and it offers balance. Kind of like what I said with why I have 50 cards in my deck, and that's because I like balance. So, with that being said, in this discussion as well, I will try to go over some effects with cards, and I will also ask some other, or I will also answer some other questions. I won't ask questions. For example, why do I have 3 Zwei in my deck? Some people question that, oh, Zwei is just a simple Cyber Dragon card, you know? I mean, it's not really that strong. It's only a 1500 beater, I believe, yeah. And its effect is that it only gains 300 attack whenever it's in the damage step. So yeah, I mean, it's not that great of a card. Oh, you should take out your deck, all this stuff. I don't think so. You know, sometimes, like, okay, in Yu-Gi-Oh, we don't show our opponent what we have in our hand, right? I mean, it's like an average card game, you know. But I think with Zwei's effect, by showing a spell card, if your opponent were to see a spell card, like if you were to like if you were to show a card like Power Bond, your opponent may want to think really hard about what to do, because if I can bring out Power Bond and get Twin on the field, then your opponent might be thinking, "Oh man, should I Solemn Warning, or should I um, even go like Fiendish Chain or other effects, Deep Prison?" You know, so it just makes your opponent think. It's kind of like reverse psychology in a way, you know, like you're just kind of drawing your opponent in to successfully do what you want to do, you know. So yeah. Next for spell cards, why do I have one Power Bond in my deck? Really, um, when I base this deck around fusions, this is honestly the 5 cards I have that I can use to fusion summon. Okay, and it's just 3 types of cards. Okay, so you would think that, oh, if you're going to base your deck around fusions, you should add another Power Bond or have 3 Overload fusions in your deck. But I don't. Um, I only have one, obviously, because of its cost. Um, you can use Power Bond, and if I don't have the 2,800 life points that I need to win, and your opponent goes Swift Scarecrow to negate a direct attack, and you have to pay that 2,800, you lose. That's the only reason why I only have that one Power Bond in my deck, is because of that cost, and that cost can lose you the duel, and you're just trying to go for game because you're trying to take that risk. Excuse me. That you're trying to just go for game and hope for the best, but in reality, your next draw may have been an MST or what? I'm sorry. An MST. Yeah, I'm gonna MST Swift Scarecrow. Okay, no. But um, like you may need a card like Imperial Iron Wall, even though I don't have that card in my deck. But yeah, you get my drift. So let me go over a couple of card effects too. You guys should know what most of my monsters effects do if you face Cyber Dragons or such. I may have explained this card's effect, Battle Fusion. Here it is. Basically, if you have a fusion type monster in the field and an opponent declares an attack, you can quick play this card, and then your fusion summon monster gains that attack from your opponent's monster. I like that, especially if your opponent thinks they have it in the bag. It's kind of like honest in a way, except it only goes for fusions. This card, Dimension Explosion. I did kind of explain this effect a little earlier. Dimension Explosion. Basically, what you do is you return a face-up fusion monster to the fusion deck, or to the, yeah, it says on there, to the fusion deck. It should be extra deck. What you do is you return your face-up fusion monster to the extra deck, and then you special summon up to 2 monsters from the banished area. So that's actually kind of solid, especially if you go Overload Fusion and your opponent uses a card like a like a card like a Raigeki or Dark Hole, that's actually a really, really good effect. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure you guys know the rest of the effects of the magic cards. I'll move on to traps. Let me go ahead and explain these two guys. Paradox Fusion and Fusion Guard. They're both counter traps and they're both really good. Fusion Guard, if you were to take a damage from an effect, then you can go ahead and go Fusion Guard. You can negate. Oh crap. I can't read. Yeah. Okay. What you do is you activate this, and you negate the card or effect that is inflicting damage to you. And what you do is you randomly send one fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. I will get to this in a little bit. And then next for Paradox Fusion, what you do is if you have a face-up fusion monster, you can banish it and then negate the activation of a spell or trap card, and then in your second standby phase, I believe that is, during your second end phase, you can special summon that banished monster. I think those two cards had really solid effects. I think with Paradox Fusion, that's basically like your Solemn Judgment in a way, except that you don't even have to pay life points. And with negating a spell or trap in this format, you always need it. Now, let me explain my combo here with Fusion Guard. Your opponent activates an effect that will inflict damage to you. You go Fusion Guard, and the card you want to discard is Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And there's a reason to that. Okay, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is a normal fusion. And so with that being said, there's nothing in it, in its effect, that says that it must be fusion summoned. So guess what you do? If you draw this card, Refusion, and you have Blue Eyes Ultimate in your grave, you bring out Blue Eyes Ultimate. I've never done that before, but I'm dying to do it. And whenever I do it, I'm going to get that shit on tape and I'm going to show you guys. And you guys are going to fucking laugh. And you guys are going to think that's the most OP play you will ever see in your life. And that's kind of the reason why that I have Fusion Guard, because Fusion Guard does have that great effect in it. So that answers your question why I have Blue Eyes Ultimate in my extra deck. And I will go over my extra deck one more time. You've already seen some cards I've shown you. I have 3 Cyber Ends, I have 3 Cyber Twins, and I have 3 Chimera Tech Over Dragons. You guys can see that, yeah. And then I have 3 Chimera Tech Fortress, and I was thinking about replacing one of those with Parapsychroid, because Parapsychroid can inflict damage or direct damage to your opponent. So yeah. Next for my side deck, there's really not much to talk about. I was thinking about adding an extra Royal Decree, considering that Vanities is a card that's been being played at 3 in this format. So yeah, that's pretty much it that I have for my discussion, guys. If you have any questions, be sure to put it down in the comments below. I'll always try to answer them the best I can. I do YouTube on my phone, so I don't get any notifications or anything like that, and like my email or stuff like that. So leave it in the comments below. That would be really good of you guys to do that. I have Instagram. Guys, follow me on Instagram at ZetaTCG. And if you ever want to duel me on Dueling Network, my DN is ZetaYugi, and all that will be in the description below. So please be sure to check it out. Don't forget to subscribe. It would mean a lot. And thank you guys for watching my 2-part Cyber Dragon deck profile and discussion. This is ZetaTCG signing out.